Hello everyone and welcome to the Tank Club. We're on the PTS today. We're going to have a look at the Necromancer skill, Mortal Coil. It's been changed again for week 3 of the PTS, but we're going to see if it's worth using or not. So initially on PTS week 1, they changed Mortal Coil to Recovery. They've now reverted back, so this morph now restores 1020 magicka and stamina over its duration, with the restore happening in increments of 2 seconds. Apparently, much of the feedback for this skill change pointed out to a heavy hit on Necromancer tanking. Now, I mean, I've played Necromancer tank for a long time, and I've literally never used this skill because it is one of the most useless skills that I've ever seen. If we actually look at it, so on the live server now, you get 1260 stamina over 12 seconds while siphoning a corpse. So on the live server, it's better than what it is going to be for next patch. It's already better than what it's going to be. But when you compare it to every other tank class, so if we look at the Dragon Knight tank, for example, the Dragon Knight tank has the combustion passive, which gives them 1000 magicka or 1000 stamina based on the poisoned or the burning effect. They also have the Helping Hands passive, which gives 990 stamina. These are instant things that happen straight away. If you cast an Earthen Heart ability, you get back 990 stamina. It's instant. It's almost 1000 stamina, just instant. If we look at the Templar tank has Restoring Focus. They get 242 stamina every 1 second over the duration for 20 seconds. The Nightblade tank, they have Leeching Strikes. So that restores 4270 stamina when the effect ends. So you cast it, you wait 20 seconds, you get it back. But you also gain 106 stamina every time you do a light attack. Fully charged heavy attacks restore twice the value, so you can gain a ton of stamina from using Leeching Strikes. On a Warden, this is kind of a fairly weak skill as well, but it's still better than the Necro. So the Bull Netch, if you go to the Bull Netch, it restores 4416 stamina over 25 seconds. You got Dark Deal, which drops your block, which is the only downside to this, but it does cost magicka, and it restores health and 3600 stamina instantly, an additional 2400 stamina over 20 seconds. So again, another good skill. Now, Mortal Coil on the live server restores 1260 stamina over 12 seconds. This obviously restores magicka and stamina 170 every 2 seconds. So 1020 stamina, 1020 magicka over the 12-second duration. Now, I don't really know what this is such a waste of a skill slot. Like, you'd be better off just doing heavy after a heavy. If you ever heard me say this before, heavy after a heavy. That is the thing. You're going to generate so much more stamina. This is just a waste of a skill slot. This is in no way improving your ability at tanking. It's almost a joke in a way by how little the amount is compared to every other class. So like, I just think the values are just all wrong. There's no way that giving 170 magicka and stamina every 2 seconds, when you look at every other class has got stuff that gives huge amounts of stamina while blocking, and then like the DK who's got access to that combustion passive and using a charged poison glyph and things like that, like they've got so much more access to resources, and the Necro doesn't. The Necro is by far the most difficult to sustain for a tank who blocks quite frequently. So for newer players, there's kind of that tricky element to Necromancer tanking where you're not generating resources while blocking like you can on every other class, and the one skill that you do have is absolutely useless. Like waiting 12 seconds to get 1000 stamina just isn't worth it. Like if we just burn through our stamina here, and we'll just kind of show you what it looks like if we cast a corpse. So like, you've got the other element of this where you have to, so you've got to use 2 skills to get the resources back, because you've got to have a corpse. So there's got to be a corpse available. If on a boss fight, if let's say you're the only Necro, like you've got to make the corpse yourself, and then you've got to tether to the corpse, then you've got to wait. And look how slow, look at my stam bar. Like it's not really doing anything. I just don't think that this is very good at all. If anything, this skill could do with being buffed so that it's actually useful, because your actual you're better off just dropping your block and getting your stamina recovery. Like, look how much I'm gaining from stamina recovery. Even dropping block for 1 second is going to be more beneficial than running a skill that you've got to create a corpse, then you've got to beam to the corpse, then you've got to wait for the stamina. Just heavy attack and like drop your block, because this is just not good at all. So there you go, guys. An update to the Mortal Coil skill. It's still a nerf, in my opinion. It's still a nerf on what it is on the live server. It's still nowhere close to being as good as any other tank class in terms of their ability to restore resources. But this is week 3 of the PTS. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.